Hello everyone, my name is Abby. Welcome to my channel. We will begin lying on our backs today, knees bent, feet planted, and then relax your arms really wherever is most comfortable for you. Just take a few breaths here to notice what's going on in the body, especially around the hips, around the glutes, which we are focusing on in this practice. Notice any tight spots. Notice also the spots that feel pretty open. Now bring the right ankle up on top of the left knee for a figure four, reclined pigeon. If you want the deeper stretch, wrap your hands around the back of your left thigh and draw the legs in toward your belly. Relax the face, relax the shoulders down toward the mat. Keep the shape of the legs, plant your left foot on the mat. And if you want to go a little further, then you can completely cross the right leg on top of the left and begin to lift the hips regardless. Lift the glutes for a figure four bridge pose variation. Squeeze the inner thighs together. One more breath like this. And send the right foot straight up toward the sky. Make a footprint on the ceiling. Keep pushing down through that left heel. Now keep the hips lifted as you bend the right knee. Your arms can stay on the ground or wrap your hands around the right knee as you drop the hips. And then push back into the left heel to re-lift. Again, lower down and lift. 3 more times. All of your attention is on pushing that left heel down into the ground as hard as you can as you lift and squeeze at the top. And relax. Now switch the legs, left ankle on top of the right knee for figure four or reclined pigeon. One more breath here. And plant the right foot on the ground. Lay your arms by your sides. You might completely cross the left leg on top of the right and lift the hips for your bridge variation. Remember to squeeze in the inner thighs. And keep the hips lifted. We'll get ready to send the left foot straight up toward the sky. Flex the foot, spread out the toes. Push into the right heel. Keep the hips lifted and start to bend the left knee in toward the chest. You might use your hands to wrap around the front of the knee. Lower the hips and lift. Do that 4 more times. Last one. And relax the feet down to the mat. Feel free to windshield wiper the legs side to side. Release the low back. Bring the knees in toward the chest and rock yourself up into a seat. We will come into wide-legged forward fold. So you might turn to the side of the mat if you want some cushion under your heels. And then begin to fold it forward. It's okay if you don't go too far. This is obviously still the beginning. You can stay still in the center or walk your hand from one side to the other. Last breath here. And start to come into tabletop on all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog. Left leg immediately goes up toward the sky. You might do a couple circles with the hip. Start to bring the right knee toward the nose as you shift forward and step the left foot in between the hands. Keep the chest over the left toes as you reach the arms forward, arrow lunge. Really lean into the strength of the left leg. Now start to lean forward. Bring the right knee in as you pull the arms back. Lengthen out, arrow lunge. Right knee in, elbows back. One more time. Keep the left knee bent. And step back into your arrow. Drop the right knee for low lunge. Reach the arms up. Let the hips sink in. Now lean forward over the left foot. Tuck your back toes. And lift up into warrior three, balancing on the left leg. Squeeze the right glute. Spread out the right toes. You might bring your hands to your hips and level out the hips. Notice if the right side glute is a little bit lifted, a little bit wonky. Now stand up, keep the right foot off the ground if you can. Send it out in front of you just a little bit and flex the foot. Think pistol squat as you bend the left knee and drop the hips back. And step the right foot to the back of the mat for high lunge. Plant your hands closely to your left foot. Lean forward and lift the back leg off the mat. Standing splits. Take another breath in. Exhale, bend both knees. Squeeze the inner thighs together for Shiva squat. Inhale, back up to standing splits. Exhale, Shiva squat. One more time. Hold Shiva squat. You might bring your hands to the heart if you want an extra challenge here. Stay low. And drop the hands. Lower yourself down into a seat, keeping the legs crossed. So the left leg is on top of the right. Gomukhasana or shoelace pose. We're trying to get our knees eventually stacked over one another and sending feet toward opposite hips. Stay sitting upright if that is enough of a stretch, or start to forward fold. We will not hold this for too long. Now keep your legs crossed and begin to twist toward the left side of the mat. You might get your right arm outside the left knee. Look over the right shoulder. Left shoulder. And face forward. This is going to be a kind of funky transition. Take your hands to the right and then start to stand up, just twisting around toward the back of the mat. So we really don't move the feet much at all. And we're in a forward fold. Keep it easy. Don't go too deep into the stretch. And start to walk yourself out into plank pose. You may bring your feet a bit closer together. Slowly lower down, chaturanga, halfway. Cobra pose, open heart. Downward facing dog, hips high. Right leg reaches up. Option to add in your hip circles. Right knee comes toward the nose as we curl forward. Step through, arrow lunge. Your chest is just above the right toes. Sink low into the legs. Now take another breath in. On the exhale, left knee in toward the chest, pull the elbows back. Inhale, arrow lunge. Exhale, pull the left knee in. One more time. Step back to your arrow lunge. Drop the left knee, low lunge. Lift through the arms, lift through the heart. Tuck your back toes, lean forward, and lift all the way off into warrior three, balancing on the right leg. You might take hands on the hips again and do that same leveling adjustment of the hips if you tried that on the last side. Just noticing any differences that might become aware. Stand up. Kick the left foot out in front of you a little bit. Pistol squat. Most of the weight is in your right heel. Embrace a little bit of the shakiness. And swing the left foot all the way toward the back of the mat. High lunge, Anjaneyasana. Reach both hands down towards your left toes. Standing splits, lift your back leg. Take another breath in. Exhale, bend both knees. Shiva squat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, Shiva. One more time. Hold your Shiva squat. Lift the hands if you did that last time. And drop the hands lower down. Our right leg is crossed on top this time. Gomukhasana, shoelace. Just a couple of more breaths here. Now lift through the spine and twist to the right side of the room this time. Now twist to the left. Start to lift your hips up, coming into forward fold, twisting toward what was originally the front of the mat. Walk the hands out into your plank pose. Lower halfway down, chaturanga. Cobra pose. Inhale. Exhale, hips to the heels, child's pose, balasana this time. Now lift up to your hands and find a seat. Have your legs out in front of you, and hands will support you on the ground behind. Your fingers can really face whatever direction feels best on your shoulders for this next posture. Reverse tabletop. We push into the heels, lift the chest, and then lift the glutes up toward the ceiling. Really push through the heels. Lower back down and lift. Squeeze the glutes. One more time. Lift up, hold the hips high, keep them there if you can. Start to send one foot out long at a time. So instead of a reverse table, we are in reverse plank. Squeeze those glutes. One more breath in. Exhale, lower the hips down. Seated forward fold. You may bend the knees if your hamstrings are feeling tight. Think belly to thighs. We'll start to make your way onto your backs now. Reclined butterfly. Lay your arms down by your sides. Push into the feet and lift the hips, lift the glutes for a butterfly bridge. Lower down and lift. You have 3 more rounds. Pause at the top each time. Try to keep the inner arches of the feet working toward one another. Last one, lift up, hold it. Reach the fingers up toward the sky if you want a little extra. And relax everything down. Bring the knees in toward the chest and let them fall to the left for an easy twist. Reach the right hand toward the right side of the room. Bring the legs back through the center and to the right. Bring the legs back to the center and find happy baby pose. You can grab the back of the knees or the big toes or the outside edges of your feet. Relax the shoulders down. And release the legs all the way out into Shavasana, our final posture of the practice. Relax every single part of your body. And for this short Shavasana, focus on the hips and the glutes again. Notice the changes. Allow them to integrate. Bring the knees in toward the chest. Give yourself a squeeze, a hug. When you're ready, rock yourself up into a comfortable seat. And bring the hands together at the heart center. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through this practice. The student and teacher in me honors the student and the teacher in you. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you for taking the time to practice with me. If you want more content like this, like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time on the mat.